Welcome to the Lone Machinist podcast, the podcast where it's just you, your tools, and the work. No team, no backup. I'm Jamie from JSpec Engineering, and every episode we're tackling the highs and lows of flying solo in the machining world.
And I'm Curt from Confounded Machine, here to chat about everything it takes to make it as a one-man show in the shop. From grinding and turning to the struggles of running a one-person operation, we're sharing the stories, the tricks, and the challenges that come with going it alone.
If you're out there in the shop grinding away by yourself, or just thinking about taking a solo plunge, this show's for you.
So throw in your ear protection and let's talk about life behind the machine.
Good morning, Curt. How are you this fine morning?
I'm doing fantastic, Jamie. How are you doing in sunny South Africa?
I'm good. Yeah, it was actually sunny today. It was quite nice. It was a little chilly, but sunny. Yeah,
nice.
So we had Youth Day today. Yet another public holiday. And I had planned on working, but then, as I was telling you before the show, we kind of partied a bit last night and did not want to really get out of bed. And then, also yesterday, hang on, thinking back here now, not yesterday, Saturday, I finally pulled Monica out and got her to work sucking out my coolant tank, which desperately needed it. Put it all back together, got the skimmer running, and then it proceeded to pump out half of my coolant onto my floor overnight.
How did that happen?
The return pipe got something stuck in it, and I didn't catch it because I had emptied out my filter cloths into one of my bins that has holes in it. So I expected there to be some coolant on the driveway. Like, it wasn't out of the ordinary for me to see some coolant there before I went to bed. And went to a dog thing yesterday morning, came back, and I'm like, why is there coolant there? It's not meant to be there. Open the door and my coolant tank's half empty. And my floor's all covered in. So that was the one work thing I did today, was fix that and clean my floor a little bit.
Oh, fun.
It was just a little bit tedious. But yeah, that tank needs to be pumped out on a 2-weekly basis. Like, it was manky as hell.
Ugh. Well, you do produce chips, so.
It was also mixed chips, and it needed it for a while. Monica was just in the back of the shop, so I couldn't get it out easily. So now Monica has been relocated to right next to the MCO, so I can get it out easily. I think I'll post a story about it tomorrow. I've been a bit light on the Instagram stuff with all the shit going on and whatnot, so we'll get back into it tomorrow. But yeah, what have you been up to?
Oh, basically just production, finishing off a bunch of that Ultim machining, doing a little bit of titanium machining. Ultim is gross for chips. Like, it works nice, but like my chip I have those little cloth things that stuff, and it looks disgusting because it's just like white or like yellowy, and it's mixed with the coolant, and just like, ugh. It's easy to clean. It's just plastic, but like, ugh.
Yeah. I'm not. One thing you need to watch out with that is it pulls out the defoamer out of your coolant.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Really?
So, I was chatting to my coolant guy because I had foaming issues a little while ago. I don't know if I brought it up on the podcast. He came through, you were saying the aluminium chips I'm making with the face mill and with my rougher tend to, the defoamer clings to it. So you tend to have carry out of your defoamer. So it's just something to be aware of.
Good to know. I am getting more foaming, so yeah.
I'm cleaning the machine in preparation for Tufnell.
Okay, yeah.
That the fixturing material arrives hopefully tomorrow, either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'm going to phone the guy and say, hey, this shit ain't touching my machine until the Tufnell's here, because my machine will get broken down. I'll do your job and put my machine back to how it was, because I've got other work to do that I can't do while his job is set up. So I've got to harass him on tomorrow, on our short week Monday.
Yeah.
It's... the public holiday thing is killer. Tomorrow morning, Danica's got to go pick up some material for some jobs because they, I couldn't get on, like, the guys placed an order at 1 o'clock on a Friday. I can't get material. Everyone closes at 1 o'clock on a Friday in the engineering space. So I was like, cool. Went and visited a customer, hijacked some material from him for one of the components, but I've got to go buy that material tomorrow. And then the MCO can run off, I think it's like 60 parts.
That's a fair amount, yeah.
And then I'm going to try stupid.
Try stupid?
I'm going to try stupid. I'm going to go buy some hose clamps. I've got 34 lengths of 8mm hex bar that I need to cut into 500mm long pieces.
Okay.
And I don't want to feed them through the bandsaw one at a time.
Oh, okay. Okay, I
Yes,
see
so
what you're
those,
gonna
yeah, I
do.
got to cut them. They are 10 foot. They need to be 19.68 inches apparently.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so I'm gonna hose clamp them together so they're nice and tight. Put them in the bandsaw and just zip through them. And then I have to
Yeah, yeah.
sand the one end, unfortunately. And then Danica's going to have the lovely job of running 1 minute cycles, making it into short pieces for me. We literally
Oh,
face
bummer.
it off, part it, feed it, face off, part feed. It's quicker than the bandsaw, and we load it in the MCO and just let the MCO run.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. May
Yeah,
as
we've got to
well.
do 1,000 torque splits this month.
Oh, I mean, good, but yeah, tedious job. Yeah.
Not really. I make Danica load it. We used
Well,
to cut them with the bandsaw, and that was horrid. Um,
yeah.
and then we do 20 per cycle on the LK, so it's not too bad.
That
So
works.
yeah, I'll zip through all of those probably in one day.
Cool.
But that's now like getting shoved in between other stuff. But yeah, I did see. I assume you're not having burr issues on the Altum. Like
Just
burrs are.
drilling, just drilling. I'm
Oh,
having
okay.
burr issues. Everything else is fine, but
I
yeah.
saw because I
So,
saw a really cool video of someone sand. I don't know what exact flavor of sandblasting it was, but deburring plastic parts, and I was like, oh,
Mm.
it's not damaging the surface; it's just taking the burrs off.
Oh, I see. No, they're super burr free. Like even the chamfers don't
Okay,
leave like a secondary burr. Even under
that
microscope, they
sounds
look.
yeah.
I mean, all the tools are razor sharp in there right now, but and it's Ultim,
Dedicated
so they last
plastic
for
tools.
totally, man, totally. Just yeah, stupid sharp tools, and just take them out when I'm done. And but yeah, I haven't been. I've just been having bird nesting on the drills, but that's the only thing. So
Yeah, that's plastics for you.
yeah, it's like well, I've just been pissing around with the feeds and speeds trying to get it right, but it's like it's close enough that I just every hour I walk past and pull off the
Yeah.
nests and carry on.
Okay. That's not too bad then. Because yeah, those
I'm not
little
doing enough to care.
the packaging is looking really sweet on those guys.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, it came out well. It's nice to have a product that like is just like a stupid amount of work to like I can just like finish it. It's off the machine. I put it together. Let's
Yeah.
clean it, put it together, and it's like okay, it's done. It's not like
Yeah,
okay, well, I got
that's
another
quite
week
sweet.
of shit on this. So
Yeah. Because
yeah,
have you started your next run of pens yet or not?
yeah, I have, but it's gonna be kind of for commercially clients. So it's
Okay.
a lot of stuff that isn't really. Yeah, it's like I don't deal with commercial clients anymore just because they're annoying. This is a friend of a friend, and I yeah, they
Yeah.
get a pass for a
Yeah.
while. They're super kind to me, and they just basically give me free reign, and they don't demand any kind of discount, and they pay up front, and it's like okay,
Okay.
I'll
No,
keep working
that's
with you
nice.
guys. So yeah,
Yeah.
so everyone
That's
else
what
I
I
told
call
them
a
to
customer.
pound sand, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you're doing a batch, and then after that, are you doing a release for your lotto guys,
Yeah, I'll probably do enough in this batch to like fulfill what he needs, and then enough
and then
to
some?
fulfill other. Yeah, exactly. So I'd have a few weeks of lull time here. This is kind of why I put this product out, so I could kind of fill that hole while I
Sure.
just push a bunch of work through. So I think it'll work out. I mean, whoever
Yeah.
hears this podcast is now going to know my secret plan. But
Well, that's
uh,
fine. We
yeah,
can
exactly.
always
No one.
convince Danica to edit it out. You'll have to speak
No,
nicely to her.
no, no. Honesty works.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
easiest. Then you don't have to remember what stories you've told.
Totally. Yeah. I did kind of fuck up a little bit is I bought titanium and I needed to buy some half inch titanium for all these little products and I couldn't get half inch, but I could get like 508 and I'm like, what the hell is 508? And I'm like, oh, it's 13 mil. So
Ah,
I'm like, oh, 13 mil will probably totally fit in a half inch collet. I'm like, I'll just
nope.
buy my 13 mil. Nope, it definitely does not fit in a half inch collet. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I could drive across town and get a half inch or 13 mil collet for the 5C for the lathe. I'm like, or I could just turn, 4 thou off the diameter of these. So that's what I did. I just popped them all into the manual lathe and peeled off. They're only like 2 foot bars. So I was like,
But
by the
don't
time I
you?
drive across town, it's like,
Yeah, you would have done it already. But don't you normally
yeah.
turn the Odies, or is that after you've done them in the iron lung?
Oh, sorry. This is just for the new
Oh,
the
for the
little
for the new things.
yeah
Okay.
little mechanism
Okay.
thing. Yeah, so it just takes raw stock in the
Yeah.
machine. So
Okay.
I thought I
Um,
could get a half inch or a 13 in there, but
I
no
wish I could
bueno.
buy a half-inch collet here because the 12 millimeter PTFE I get in is
Yeah.
12, well, anywhere from 12 to 12.6 millimeters, and I'm running it
Oh,
in a
okay.
13 collet. So it
Mm,
pulls back quite a lot, but it doesn't really matter. I'm making two short little parts, so it
yeah.
doesn't make a difference. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, been dealing with stupid customers still. It's my favorite game. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they placed the order. I'm like, cool, what am I going to do with that? Like, I eat more food than that in a week, or what the fuck am I going to do with that order? You guys are meant to be
Yeah.
doing literally like 20x this. What the hell? And then I was looking for a price that I'd given them previously. So I was looking through their things. They haven't placed a real order since November.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like it's getting old now. But anyway, I've been bitching about this forever. I'll just do other
yeah.
work to pick up the slack. And when they place an
Well,
order, they can get told
that's
you can wait in the queue now.
I find that's what like a lot of distributor like I mean in this instance you're like the
Yeah.
manufacturer and they're like the distributor. I find a lot of distributors do that. They're like, well, why are we going to hold the stock for the customers when we can just push it onto the manufacturer? And like seeing it
Well,
now from the other end, it's like they're pushing it onto you. Be like, you hold the stock and you build it, and
no.
we'll buy from you in onesie
So
twosies.
the only reason they've actually been buying from me for the last couple of months is they're building up their stock, so they have a 2 month reserve of stock. If they get an order, they're not
Oh, okay.
waiting on supplies, so they're sitting with 1,200 parts.
Oh, okay.
So they've
Okay.
been
Well,
buying
that's
up
nice.
stock. So it's not like that. That's not. It's their salesperson needs to be fired, and they need to get a new one because they're not
Oh,
selling systems currently.
I
Um,
gotcha. Okay.
I was chatting to their lead of manufacturing, and he was saying
Hmm.
they're having an issue, but because it's not their electronics on the unit, it's a system they're buying from another company. They are getting a alarm or an error that can be one of 5 different things. So they're trying to track down what the actual cause is, but they're not getting
Mm.
enough granular feedback to know which direction to go in. So I think that's also
Mm.
causing a little bit of issues. They're busy making that thing in house now, so that they can control it a bit better. And like that's how I got in there 3 years ago, was on that project. And because they couldn't get when the war in Ukraine broke out, because it's a Ukrainian sensor. So they looked at making it locally. And then all of a sudden they could get again. So they're like, it's fine, shelve it. And yeah, now they're having to unshelve it because, as Gabe from Slant 3D says, you can't build a business around someone else's machine. Like they've
Yeah.
got I don't know if you know about Slant 3D.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it
Yeah,
last time because I have it
I think I've
written on
met.
my
Yeah,
board.
he's his whole thing was when Bamboo did their last update that was a bit sketchy. Like, this is why we don't run Bamboo printers. We built our own printer. We control everything on it because if you're
Mm.
running a print farm with Bamboos and all of a sudden they change something so you can't use your API or their API to connect to the machines, you're dead in the water. You are at the whim of those guys, not controlling your own destiny. And I was like, no, that's a very valid point. Not exactly on point for CNC machines, but I mean, you look at the DMG machines, you move a DMG and you have to have them unlock the machine again because it's detected it's been moved on their 5
Yeah.
axis machines. Like, it's,
And I get it on one sense, and that kind of stuff just infuriates me on another sense. Like I
well, we've, Danik and I have gone on a bit of a deep dive on documentaries the last few days. So that
okay.
I assume you know about the Titan submarine.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
The Red Mist Maker, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Netflix documentary dropped, so I wanted to watch that because I've been following the story the whole time. We
Yeah.
watched that, and then we watched the downfall, the story of the Boeing 737 Max,
Okay.
and we watched them back to back. And the through line on that is greed and hubris, is what caused all those issues. And then today
Mm.
we watched the again Netflix documentary on MH370.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Very interesting. They outline like 3 major theories on what happened, and by the end of it, you
Mm-hmm.
kind of know what happened. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's not rile up the main section of the audience. But yeah, also very good, like very, very, very good.
Yeah, I love those. I've been meaning to watch the Titan documentary
Yeah,
because it seems like I geeked out over that just because
yeah,
same thing. It's just like there's so many cool aspects of like yeah, just
it's
one
very
human being
interesting.
oversight
Yeah,
on everything. Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it was eye opening to watch. Like I knew quite a bit of what was gonna. We know how it's gonna end. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but very like so. I follow one of the YouTubers who was in the Titan submarine like 3 days before it imploded,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
went underwater and they had a fault. They came out and they got out. And he's like, if they
Mm-hmm.
had dived, he would have been the Red Mist Man. Like,
Oh,
yeah, he's
yeah.
like he was in the documentary, he's freaking crying. He's like, he saw them pull the dome out. And he's like, my feet were touching that. Like we were
Yeah.
ready to dive, and there was a technical problem, so they resurfaced. It's insane. But yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting. Like they've got some very interesting information on their acoustic monitoring systems, and on the last full depth dive, on the way up, there was stuff that happened, and the next full depth dive is when it imploded. Their acoustic monitoring worked. Just as it worked, they just ignored it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's
But
no,
very interesting. Like very much worth a watch.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that just because it slightly frightens me. Like I'm not like claustrophobic, but you put me in a tube and put me that far, like
No,
I'm
come
gonna
on.
be I'm a bit ragey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Yeah, but I mean the last season that they actually did dives to the final dive,
Mm,
yeah, the advice that was given by not advice, the rules that were outlined by the lead engineer was basically do not let it freeze. Under no
mm,
circumstances let it freeze. And they parked it
mm.
outside through the winter.
Oh yeah, that might cause
There
problems.
you go.
Yeah.
There's your problem. That job. Very interesting. Like, yeah. Let me not spoil too much of it for you.
No,
But yeah,
yeah, please don't.
back to the machining things.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, Curt. So I see you added a thing there. What did you hand code on your lathe?
Everything, because I hand code everything on that lathe. Like for the most part, I post everything out of Fusion. I get all the operations I want, but like
And then
like
you
you said,
edit.
sometimes
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes there's planes that I want to shift, like especially for production.
It's a
And
Linux
I'm
CNC
always
lathe.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm like, you know what? I want to make this. It doesn't have to move this far. It can switch change here. Like, and some of these parts, you can shave a minute off a 5 minute cycle, and that's significant when you run 1,000 odd parts. Um, but in this instance, I deleted one of the special lines that was G43. So after it did a tool change, it didn't bring in the tool offset. Actually, I copy and pasted it from another section of code, and that
Ah,
section didn't have it. So yeah, the problem is, even if I would have took my time, like I was rushing, of course, that's when all the mistakes happen. So
that's
on a
how it
Friday,
works.
that's when I crashed it. But the problem is, even if I did it on a Monday, I don't think I would have caught it because I assumed that bit of code had ran and was happy. So I just kind of did a copy paste. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, for the amount of crashes I've had on that machine, I'm definitely ahead. Like for the amount of hand edits I do and the amount of oopsies I've had. I usually like if I do a hand edit, I'll run the rapids super slow. I don't care if the cycle
Yeah.
takes me like if it's 5 minutes and it takes 15 to finish it. That's cool. I'll just watch it carefully, and then once I know it goes full speed, off we go and full send. And yeah, this time I was just oopsie daisy. So
Yeah.
just
The shit happens. Okay, sorry. While I remembered, I sent you something for the after show discussion. Um, it's continuing on last week's topic, but anyway, no. Look at it at the after show. Don't stress. It's from
okay,
it's
okay.
from Luke. Yeah, no, it's from Luke.
Exciting. Okay,
Fantastic. Yes.
yeah.
It's got to do with the shitty Swiss Nano.
Ooh, yay.
Yeah. Hand editing on Linux CNC lathes. It's what happens. Like you have to.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna, especially on gang tooling. There's no ways I'm gonna bother setting that up. Even on the turret, I will post it out and then I hand edit all my clearance planes because then I
Hmm.
know if I'm using my facing tool, I need to go back like 60 millimeters. But if I'm using a drill, I can go back 10 mils, do my tool change, and come back in. I don't have to
Hmm.
waste a month of Sundays on
Yeah.
dumb stuff. But yeah, like, every program on my lathes is hand edited.
Yeah, well, and lathe code is simple. Like you can read through it and just see
Yeah.
all the position. Like it's not like mill
Well,
code where you're gonna have a bunch of interpolation where it's like, where am I? It's just like
so
lathe code is
Linux
super basic.
CNC as well, you can click on, if you're in
Yeah,
auto mode, you can click on it and it literally jumps to that line of code, which
totally.
is
Yeah,
great.
and
Yeah, I
it
was
visualizes it nicely, so you can see if you all of a sudden carried a
if
zero
it's
or
going
didn't.
to
Yeah,
China by accident. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So I machined some K110. I don't know if you saw that last week. That small
Hmm.
piece of K110 in Bertha.
Okay, and it worked out well.
I It worked. I was hand editing code. So for some reason, I can't remember why I got into this habit, but I programmed my lathes with feed per millimeter. I
Okay,
think it was because when I built Bertha, I couldn't run constant surface speed because the motor was a little underpowered. So it
okay,
couldn't ramp up fast enough. And if you took a cut while it was ramping, it would overload the motor. Because
sure.
I basically looked at the Tormach 15L. I was like, 2.2 kilowatt motor. It can do, from what my research, 50 millimeter steel, no problem. That's as big as I plan on going. Except my spindle weighs 10 times more than their spindle
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
because my spindle is a good couple hundred kilos. Um, so 2.2 kilowatt motor is kind of on the limit. And customer phones, I need your help. Can you machine this for me urgently? I promised my customer tomorrow. 10 a.m. It's been with the guy for the week. He hasn't done it. I'm getting the material this afternoon. Can you do it this evening for me? I'm like, I can't do it this evening, but I can do it first thing for you in the morning. Like, first I tried not to do the work, and he's desperate. So I'm like, just bring it. I'll make a plan for you. And he brought it through. I programmed it, and then I had to drop my spindle speed because I was melting inserts because K110 and can't go slow. I run out of torque. I've got a 2.2 kilowatt 3-phase motor. When I come down to like 500 RPM, there's no torque left because it's direct coupled. Direct
for the listener, this is like a very large, like a very adventurous looking butt plug.
Yes. Well, like depending on which way you use it, it doesn't have a flange. It's not 4 inches. It's a bit bigger. It's 4.3 inches in diameter and 4 inches long. So the lathe was
a lot of your lathe.
Yeah, the lathe was never spec'd to run that. I've done one or two things bigger than that, but it wasn't spec'd to do that. Anyway, got it running, and then I was having to drop RPM, and then I was trying to have to, in my head, calculate, okay, what must the feed come down to? So I roughed down, burned through the first corner of an insert, stopped, changed insert, just sped through the code, and then the second time, I'm like, no. Went back to the computer, posted out with feed per rev. That way, when I adjust my RPM, it adjusts my feed rate accordingly. Because the feed rate was fine. I was light enough cuts. It was just an RPM thing, keeping it within the right surface footage. Right. And eventually, after 8 corners, I managed to finish the job. Because I literally just couldn't get my SFM low enough that it wouldn't melt the insert. Because I ran out of torque. So like 5 or 6 passes, and then as it retracts to go back, pause the machine, turn off the spindle, turn off coolant, turn the insert, hit go, continue. It took me an hour and a half to do that, to rough that part out and finish it.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it looked pretty. The guy was happy. I'm like, yeah, I do nice work. I like doing it. But helping him out of a bind. Yeah, because he tends to get himself in stupid fucking binds.
I didn't realize that was K110. I thought that was
No.
That makes it harder.
I don't do easy work. Why would I do easy work?
Yeah, which is
I've got my feet and speeds pretty dialed for K110. If it's under 50 diameter, like I'll rough with one insert all day. But when it's bigger diameters, it doesn't go
well. Oh yeah, that's D1 as far as I know. So that's it's a tool steel. It's ragged to work with.
It's not fun stuff. I've got some stuff coming in now. We're going to make some press tools out of mild steel that they're literally consumable.
Nice.
So we're discussing it. The guy wants to do it like 400 by 400. So like a foot and a half by foot and a half plate. I'm like, hang on. The parts are smaller than 80 diameter. Let's get 80 by 50 gauge, not gauge, but BMS. We machine them out of those. Then it's one piece at a time. I can throw one in every evening and I can blank these things out for you. So I'm waiting for the design to come through tomorrow and then going to start on those for him. In between all the other dumb shit that I do.
You always have just a handful of fun stuff going on.
Yeah. It's always fun things going on. I'm trying to remember last week. Oh, yeah. I finished the automation on the grinder. I don't know if we spoke about that. I don't think so. That would have been last week.
I think you had 2 sensors on it last time.
Yeah, so 2 sensors on. It's now working and finished. I ground and assembled all the anchor points. They are all now assembled. And I shipped Jacob his one. It left here at 4:30 on Wednesday and arrived at I don't know what time that side, but in the evening here on Friday. It was 51 hours of transit.
That's nuts.
Yeah. 51 hours of transit from South Africa to somewhere in the US.
That's impressive. That's very impressive.
I was expecting it to be delivered today and didn't get delivered on Friday.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got the custom serial number.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that shipping works out well for you because that's
it's a huge relief that I've got shipping sorted out now.
No doubt,
The biggest limit for me selling stuff was shipping it out of this lovely place that I live in.
Yeah.
I was going to use some creative language for it, but I thought, let me be nice about it today. Yeah, I sent Danica to pick up material for me and she witnessed someone getting hijacked. So then I got a phone call. She was in tears because she got held up at gunpoint in CBD, in Joburg CBD a few years ago. And she's like, she felt so bad. She's like, she didn't stop and help. I'm like, yeah, you stop, you're going to get shot. Like, just leave the dude. phone the police, pretend to be KFC, and they'll be there quickly. Like, yeah. So when she went back past, the police were there helping the guy and whatnot, so she felt a bit less bad. But yeah, Africa, not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Yeah, different worlds for sure.
100%. Like, yeah, that's not even out of the ordinary for us, seeing someone get hijacked.
Wow.
It's like you've got to be ever vigilant here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just, it's got its perks. Like,
yeah, for sure.
No laws. It's great. Well, there's lots of laws, they just can't enforce them because they're busy at KFC. No, yeah. My mother-in-law's invigilating for some new online college thing or whatever. The police were literally writing an exam and cribbing, and she went to report saying, no, but you can't, you're going to make them lose their job. I'm like, no fucking shit. You are meant to be held to a higher standard if you are a police officer. But no, they need to, no, you can't do that. Like, fuck. I'm like, I would throw those eggs under the bus so hard. But that's the problem, is the corruption here is right through from the top. Yeah. And if the top don't follow the rules, the bottom aren't going to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough political bullshit. Tell me about your SAL. What are you fixing on the SAL now?
So for the last little while, it's been doing, like, when it does a tool change, it'll occasionally go up, and like when it rapids up to its Z height, and it'll say soft limit error. Because just the way these machines work, they change tool by basically just moving the Z axis, because there's a cam system, and that's when it unclutches a drawbar. So it rapids up and it gives me a soft limit error, and I'm looking, and it's not near its soft limits. It's like, so I looked at all the program steps and everything, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I'm like, is a sensor? I'm like, well, there's not even a sensor in it. Like, they just go off the encoders of the motor. There's not an actual switch. So I was trying to figure it out. I basically contacted my dealer. He's completely useless. So I just totally to circumvent him now. Talked to Sile. They looked at my my tool change program. They're like, everything is in place. Like, everything is good. They checked everything. There's all kinds of cool things I didn't know you could do on the Siemens control that they kind of just walked me through. You can output weird commands and stuff for them to just like check stuff over. And then I found there's screenshots in my machine, and I could see all the, like, remember I told you about those circularity tests?
Yes.
So I could find all, they screenshotted all of them from the factory, so I can see all the stock ones, which is kind of nice to see. So if I do it again, I can see if there's any deviation.
We need to discuss that, because I want to know where those are on the machine.
Yeah, I can tell you where they are. I haven't figured out how to do the circularity test yet, but at least I know where they are. Like. Yeah, okay. And so anyways, I was like, you know what? I'm like, so I tweaked with the soft limit settings. That didn't really do much. And then I slowed the machine down because I figured that would help. That didn't do much. And then I started reading into the macros. And I'm like, you know what? Me slowing the machine down with feed rate override isn't really doing much when it comes to the macros, because the macros kind of ignore a lot of this stuff. And it just kind of goes, it goes through at its own speed. And so I was like, you know what? What if I go into the macro and just slow it down? Like, I bet you it's just because it's coming within 0.5 millimeter of the soft limit, and then slowing down, going from a G0 to a G1. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop like 5 millimeters away and then just slowly come into it.
Yeah.
And that fixed it. Like that solved the issue. It was just slamming in so fast that the machine, either there was a detune, or I don't know exactly what was happening.
Could be a detune as it's running.
Yeah.
It's now overshooting its position.
That's what I'm thinking, is the Z-axis maybe is out of tune. So when it comes in that fast, it's oscillating before it hits its point. Yeah. And then it had the side benefit of, now when it does a tool change, it comes like flying in at full speed, slows down, does a nice smooth tool change, and flies back out. So I'm like, why wouldn't you program it like this from the factory? Yeah. It sounds better. It moves smoother. I sent it to Sile. I'm like, hey, is this cool? I was like, I don't see any reason why I can't do that. They're like, no, you could totally do that. They're like, you'll add like whatever, 1/10 of a second to your tool change. I'm like, yeah, I don't give a shit. It's like, it's way easier on the machine. Like, do this. But I'm assuming they're just going for the, like, now we have a 1 second. So I have a 1.1 second tool change as opposed to a 1 second tool change. It's like, who cares?
So have you jogged your Z-axis up? Just push the Z-axis up arrow, and then it gives you a soft bar before it unclamps the tools. And then when it goes to the tool change, it moves the Z limits up. Or it actually, mine flashes and says Z over travel, Z over travel, Z over travel until it comes back down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know. It disables that limits in software. Yeah. Literally, my red light flashes while it does a tool change. When it comes, picks up the tool again, then that alarm clears.
Interesting. Yeah, mine doesn't alarm, so I don't know if it's just completely deactivating the limits. But I can see the code doing that.
Yeah, not like an
Right. Yeah.
alarm
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
machine stops, but the light flashes red and it's got the little thing Z over travel on the
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
screen
Yeah.
until it comes back down.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
So
if I take the jog wheel and just like pound it into the
yeah,
Z, it just it stops at the soft
it
limit.
goes like
Is
half a mil up and then stops
yeah.
and won't
I mean,
actually let you go.
technically there's two soft limits. It hits one and then it
Yes.
starts to decelerate, and then hits the other one. But yeah, it's just like
So
I don't know why the change was
as
pissing it off.
far as I know, there is also a mode you can enable that'll let you
Mhm.
jog up and unclamp a tool from the spindle directly.
Ooh, that would be
Yes.
useful. That would be useful.
If your tool umbrella is not on there or your tool turret isn't there, then yes. But there
I
is
guess, yeah, it's in the
apparently
way.
a way to do it. Yeah, there's apparently a way to
Uh,
do it, but I don't know what that way is.
I'm just hacking. I'll just unload tools from either side. Like there's that cutout
Yeah,
where you can unload it, but it's at
uh,
like the 3 o'clock position.
you
It's
can do it at
super.
one
Yeah,
off of the spindle. Yeah,
yeah.
I do that. I
I do
have
like
been
5
known
and
to do
7
that.
o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's where I do mine too. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
normally I
meant
do
for
one
it.
on the side because my door's offset to that side because my machine's fucking huge. Yours
Right.
isn't. Yeah, so
No, mine's
mine,
offset to
if
the
I
other side.
stand, yeah, if I stand in front of the machine, mine is to the same side as yours. But if I stand in
Right.
front of the machine, it's right in front of me where I offload the tool. So it's a bit
Smart.
more
Yeah.
convenient. Yeah.
Yeah,
My,
mine's completely like dark side of the moon. Can't see shit. So I'm like, I'll
yeah.
just unload right by the spindle.
Yeah. Uh, it's,
So
yeah, what's it, not, who's it? It's going to annoy me if I can't remember now. It's not Lone Wolf. It's one of the guys who makes a utility knife. Iron Fox. Iron.
oh, Black Fox or
No, Iron.
Iron?
It's
It's
not
right
Iron.
here. His knife sitting right in front of me. Iron Forest.
Yeah, Iron Forest. That's what it's about the next to the spindle unload from his X5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, yeah,
yeah,
Small World. Oh,
yeah.
speaking of
No
Small
doubt.
World, we're coming up on 3,100 listens now. Yeah,
Ooh,
turns out it's just more than your mom listening to the podcast.
nice.
Yeah,
Well, thank you to all the other 3,000 people that aren't my mom.
yeah, it's quite impressive. I'm pretty stoked.
That's
And that's
awesome.
just
Yeah.
Zencaster. That's not the rest of the
Oh,
things.
oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And there's also bonus content. And speaking of, thank you to our Patreons who support the podcast and make the wheels on the bus go round and round. Thank you to Jade from
Yay.
Benchmark 20 and Luke from Fabtastic, who's going to get yet another shout out in the after show later when we discuss his, what is it, APX something Swiss Nano machine in great detail, and I'll judge you about it. So yeah, if you want, after shows available for like, I think $1 or $2 or something. Danica makes them available as one-time purchases as well. But for all the paid
Oh, cool.
Patreons, you can get the after show where Curt and I are usually somewhat not tame and discuss interesting things. Also,
Mhm.
you can check out the Lone Machinists lonemachinists.com. That's got a link through to the merch store for Lone Machinist merch and the fancy shirt that Curt is wearing.
Mhm.
He's wearing
Good job,
the Chip
Danica.
Fans shirt, which I wore yesterday to a memorial because I'm classy as hell.
That's a pick.
Yeah, I told my
That's a
cousin
rough
I can
pick.
be here on time or I can be there well dressed. Pick one because we were running late. So she got on time. But yeah, anyway.
Oh boy. So
What?
you're putting air through your
Yes.
TS27R.
When did I do that? I feel like that was Friday. I don't know. The week is confusing to
Yeah.
me at this point. Anyway, I plumbed up the TS27R because it's when I rebuilt it, I used an airline to run the wires down to the unit.
Yeah.
So I just put a T-piece on that, hot glued the shit out of the one end where the cable came out, and then plugged air into the top of the T. And
Nice.
I've got a regulator running at like 2 bar with a flow controller, so it's super minimal, but if you spray coolant on it, you see it bubbling.
Cool.
So I think I need to take it apart one more time because some coolant definitely did get into it again. Clean it properly, and then if my shop air is on, that thing's getting purged.
That's good.
Yeah,
I guess assuming your shop air is dry, that's good.
It is pretty good. That's also off. Actually, wait, is it? Yeah, my air's pretty dry. I've got a copper pipe thingy, my bobby, and a water separator. Like I don't really get too much air. I need to move it to a different section of the plumbing on the machine. I just actually teed it into the line that runs the anchor point. I need to tee it into one of the actual air supply lines in the machine now, so that it will go after the filter regulator on the machine. just as an extra precaution.
Cool. Yeah.
But then Resolve is interesting, by the way. So I've been
Oh yeah.
doing video editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a workflow that's not entirely horrible. I was chatting to Jacob about it, and you're saying, no, there's so many different ways to do the same thing in that software. So I shot another video on making a palette for something. I've got another one in the works for the worst mag base I've ever made. It is, yeah. So normally mag bases in my workshop are 2 operations. Op 1 in my self-centerings. Op 2, if it's only like 20 parts, Op 2 will be in a vise with soft jaws, like just with parallel soft jaws and a stopper. No, not these. These have 4 operations and a custom pin that I had to make.
Oh, I saw a bit of that. Yeah.
When I quoted them, I was just like, same price, it's fine. Like, I buys quite a bit of stuff from me. I'm like, it'll be fine. Day and a half's worth of work to make 20 mag bases. I was a little bit annoyed, but is what it is. Yeah, I'm not going to fight. Like, he's probably not going to buy another 20 from me, so it doesn't really matter. Just get them out the door. But yeah, anyway, I had to do Op 1 in the fixed in the self-centerings, Op 2 at an angle, which cost me my lovely little end mill that has removed 400 kilos of material because the part moved when I was trying to rough it because I was having when I was top hatting it, the one piece was throwing and I was getting a bit worried. So I'm like, let me just zip around it instead, and it moved. So I went to just lighter cuts for the facing down. Let it take a little bit longer. Then it goes to another op where I machine the pocket in, parallel to the face, and then side op where I do a stupid side hole at a stupid angle with a stupid counterbore. As you can tell, I enjoyed doing this job.
Yeah, no doubt. It sounds like.
And then I anodized them on a day. I don't know which day I did it on, but I anodized 20 parts. And then, they went. That would have been Thursday that I did that because he picked up on Friday at like 10 a.m. So got those knocked out quickly, got the mag wells knocked out. Turns out if you design your fixture properly, you don't have to worry about stupid shit. I've literally been putting them off since January. Been putting the side holes in because I was worried they're going to be in the wrong place. And then the parts wouldn't fit and I would have scrapped them all. But first attempt, got it right.
Nice.
And I made a stupid little fixture and then realized I don't have a grip to test the other ones. But this is one of the sample ones. So it's got
they look like they came.
holes.
Ooh, that's pretty.
So this isn't my one. This is the one I knocked off. And then I tumbled one shiny. Yeah. So I rough tumbled the ones I made, and then I put 2 of them in my my lineman cyclone with the little stainless pins that I make and some magical polishing fluid, and just let that thing go for like 2 hours, and they came out shiny.
Yeah, that looks like the golden gun from 007.
So the guy that I sell these to is a Muslim guy, and he's like, no, he's not from Durban. He doesn't want it to be gold and shiny. He's not that kind of Indian. I'm like, wow, dude. No, but there's different kinds of Indians. Yeah, you got the ones who like shiny shit. They're not in Durban. No, we went to a car show on Sunday, and there was like a City Golf Mark 1. I'm like, yep, that thing is OEM collector's item. My mother-in-law was like, why is that there? I'm like, because that is the first generation collector's item. That thing is worth more money than your freaking house. But there are some stupid people with stupid cars that were loud. My wife was making fun of her mom and I, saying, you guys are definitely not autistic, bitching about the loud music.
Exactly.
She sent me a thing. There might be a shirt in the works. I'm not struggling with autistic. I'm not struggling with autism today. I'm great at it.
Yeah, we're probably all on the spectrum. Yeah.
100%. Sure. Most machinists are.
For sure.
Yeah. But I still haven't read that manual you sent me.
Nor have I. So we're in the same boat.
So that's fine. Just making sure I'm not forgetting to do things. And then what else did I... Oh, yes, the stupid parts. So I spoke to Crabman, my mate who sold me the LK. And I spoke to him because I need to CMM some parts. Got an RFQ from one of the guys in the five guys in the garage group. So there's 2 industrial designers, the guy does fabrication, an architect, and myself. And if stuff comes up that's in each other's wheelhouses, we just pass the work around. And he phoned me, he's like, I've sent you a drawing, just have a look at it. Please tell me if it's something you can assist with. So I have a look at the wear plates. I was out at the time, so I just ignored it. And then he phoned me the next day. He's like, hey, these wear plates, They want phosphor bronze, but they'll accept brass. So I'm like, okay, no worries. Let me get a price on material. So I get a price on material. I'm like, it's freaking expensive. It's like $450 worth of material. So I'm like, dude, just take it, double it, send the quote. Like, screw it. I don't actually want to do it. Just double the price. So he sends that off because now I can't buy. It's the material thickness is 6. The tolerance is 6 millimeters plus zero point 0.5 minus 0. So they want it between 6 and 6.5. There's one tolerance with one measurement with a tolerance on it, and that's like 50 microns, easy enough to hit. There's a parallelism and perpendicular call out of comma 1. It's like, cool. I can literally do it with a file. And then there's one other dimension that's got to the third decimal point, but no tolerance. So I looked at this, I'm like, it's a wear plate. It's not going to be that difficult. Then the guys came back, the engineers, like, does that include a material certificate and a measurement report? So I said, dude, hold on, I need to make some phone calls. So I phoned Crabman. They've got a little optical measuring machine from, I don't actually know what brand it is. Anyway, optical measuring machine with a touch probe. Effectively, you've got a 200 by 300 by 200 CMM. So I'm like, hey, dude, can I fly to Cape Town and come measure some parts if I get this order? He's like, no, because the machine's in Johannesburg. He'll be up here for work, and I'll just come visit him, and we'll measure the things, and we'll go to dinner afterwards.
Oh, so cool.
I was like, cool. Just add another $450 to the price because I don't want this work. But if it comes through, it'll be nice. It looks like it's coming through.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
I have to buy 10 millimeter thick material and machine it away. Which is a little annoying, but it's fine. I can live with that. Make a bunch of brass shavings and sell them back to the scrap people.
I say at least the scrap's worth something, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and holding that tolerance is in brass, firstly. And secondly, holding the width tolerance is bugger all. It's easy. I'll dial it in with wear comp and we off to the races.
Yeah. It's always nice when a no quote comes back.
Yes, because I tend to be a real dick about those ones. I don't want to deal with the extra paperwork, but if it's for that much money, I'll deal with the extra paperpaperwork. Considering it's going to probably take me less than a day to machine all the parts, it's well worth the effort. So we had some stupid part.
That's cool.
I see a lot of things in my thing this week is stupid. How's your PC specking out going?
Lots of fun. It's been
you need some extra RAM.
Yeah, so I need 60 gigs of RAM now. So I found out you can. I think it's the DeepSeek AI, so like a large language model, whatever. You can run them locally, and it's not big. It's like a 45 gig download. But the problem is you need like 52 or 58 gigs of RAM just to run it. You got to push it all into RAM. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, RAM is dirt cheap nowadays. So I'm like, if I build a PC, I'm going to want to run like a local AI. I think it'd be really cool. I think that's going to be the next dork thing that, there's dorks building 3D printers, and then there's dorks building CNC machines, and there's dorks building whatever their own LiDAR systems. I think the next dork thing is going to be running your own like local AI. And so that's kind of what I want to do. So I'm like, you know what? F it. I'm going to build it so I can run 60 gigs of RAM if I want, or 100 gig. Like I'll just make it so I have enough room to run, say, 64 gigs of RAM. Which should be enough. So
it should be enough for now.
Because RAM is cheap nowadays. Like even DDR5 RAM is cheap, and like fast DDR5 it's not, in comparison to like graphics cards and other things. It's the cheap part of a PC. So
the thing you need to just watch out there for, because you're going to go Ryzen. Ryzen apparently is not the biggest fan of having all 4 memory channels full. If you're going to go for ultimate speed, you're better off. If you want it to look full, you buy 2 dummy modules and you buy 2 like 64 gig modules, because it's I don't know, there's something about the timing or whatever.
Interesting.
Frequency. I know they ran into that. Linus from LTT ran into that with their build they had done in Taiwan, where the guys wanted 4 sticks in there, but they ended up sacrificing memory speed to make it stable. It's just
I think I read that. Yeah.
It's one of the
they had to drop it down.
With the new Ryzen setups.
Still, you're not going to be pushed. Like, it's fast. It's fast enough, even downgrading it.
Speaking of nerd things, do you watch Chris? I think it's Chris Bowden or something, or Physics Duck on YouTube. You want to see something cool?
For sure. Of course,
that's how he starts on his things. Want to see something cool?
Yes, yes.
I'm sure.
I've
Yeah.
seen his. I've seen his shorts. Yeah, I've seen his
Yes.
shorts
Okay.
for sure.
You need to go watch his story of how he went to prison.
Okay. Oh yeah, I watch that guy all the time. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see a ton of
Yeah.
his shorts. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So watch his long form stuff about why and how he went to jail. We were watching it
Okay.
last night because
Yeah, yeah.
also Carl watches him a lot, and I'm like, no, no, go watch this story. It's really interesting. In a nutshell,
Okay.
he was into Bitcoin. Like he heard about Bitcoin, and 10 minutes later, he was teaching people about Bitcoin. And he was basically, you could come to him and buy Bitcoin, of like bring him. He had a conversion chart, so whatever, how much ever you bought, that's what the
hmm
percentage commission he got, just like service fees and stuff. He wasn't making money off of it, but
hmm
yeah, basically he ended up getting stung by the FBI because they thought he was this crypto drug money laundering kingpin. Meanwhile, they like basically set him up. And the second, so he did a transaction with this one guy for like $15,000. A few months later, guy came back, told him it was for cocaine. He's like, I don't really care. I'm not selling the
hmm
drugs.
hmm
Literally did the transaction, sent his wife with a check to go pay the mortgage for their science center on time for the first time in like months because it was a science center. It was like struggling.
hmm
Not even 5 minutes later, multiple vans pitch up, raid, confiscate everything. They basically threw the book at him,
Oh
put him away for
no.
2 years. Yeah, very, very interesting story. Now he's making content because like he's on a list. Like he can do
Yeah, for
nothing.
sure.
Like
Wow.
so he's making science content. And his stuff's awesome. I love that. Even Danica enjoys watching him. Like
Yeah, yeah.
his jokes are the best. Like the dirty
For some
jokes and shit.
for some reason, his stuff seems to always come into my feed when I'm searching. Like no matter what I'm searching out, one of his videos will pop up because it's
But
always like
that's
pertaining to something I'm working on,
yeah.
which is kind of cool.
But that's also he puts out a video a day, and that's why. Like
Oh,
he's
that
in
would
the
do it.
algorithm. Like that is what he's building an audience. He's coming up on 1 million subscribers now. But he's
Wow.
spent the last year building that because he got out in August 2023. So since
Wow.
then, he's been building it, and yeah, he's focusing on the short side of things.
hmm
Yeah, like, very interesting fellow.
Right.
A lot of
Oh, that's
interesting
cool.
knowledge. Like while he was in jail, he stayed employed and got a promotion from the company he worked at.
Well, that's
He
cool.
worked. He works at a small hydroelectric plant.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
they had one of the bearings and one of the one of the windings fail in their generator. So they're going through the
Mm.
process of removing this thing out of the plant, so that it's like 120 years old. That they can have it rewound, and they'll probably run for another 120 years.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, very
Cool.
very interesting channel. We'll
Oh,
definitely have
I'm
a
not.
link for that. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I'll look up his actual name and his channel because yeah, that oak's really
Oh,
funny.
I have right here. I opened it so I could see it. So I may as well just
Yeah,
copy and paste it in there for you.
what is the YouTube link you popped in there?
So I just have a few YouTube links for super dorks. This one is I just stumbled across it. It's the tips and tricks for the Cinemeric 828D and the 840D control, and it's
Oh,
an
okay.
hour and 40 minutes long. And there's so many little greasy tips in there for a Siemens control that I had no idea you could do. And the guy has it like as a spread, like as a PowerPoint, and just like rattles through them. I'm like 21 minutes in and there's probably a dozen things I've already learned. So yeah, I'll link it there for the 1.5 people that are going to actually watch it. I've never come across it, and it doesn't have it's got 28,000 views. But yeah, it's a good video.
Yeah, I
Super
think we're
dry for
gonna.
anybody else, but if you're into it,
Yeah,
if you're
but
into that control.
I think we're gonna have to name this episode "Curt and Jamie Gush Over Siemens."
I
Um,
know I was playing that in my head too. I was like, this
yeah.
Seaman podcast.
Yeah, the link I posted there was for a guy who built a mechanical Flappy Birds game.
I saw that. Yeah, yeah. I just
Yeah,
opened it really quick. I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch this until Jamie
yeah,
tells me about it. So
it was quite entertaining. Like he had some quite. So I've seen some of his shorts somewhere where he was going about the
mhm,
rail system, and then actually seeing how he put it together was quite interesting. Like some of the
that's
challenges
cool.
he faced on it. Like it's. I'm never going to build one, but I enjoy watching people build things and seeing the struggles they go through because you never know what's going to end up sticking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
yeah. You never know
Oh,
what's going
that's
to end up
cool.
staying in your head and coming back to be useful at a later stage.
Right. Yeah. No. That's why I love watching all the YouTubers for that stuff. Yeah, tons of stuff I won't ever do. It's just like it's
Yeah,
super super interesting to kind of
I'd rather be. I'd rather have something interesting on in the background than some
yeah.
dumb shit on in the background, because you never
Yep.
know when you're going to pick something useful up.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know.
yeah.
I kind of geeked out a while ago over the there's like DIY cine cameras, like cinema cameras built over on Raspberry Pis. Um, so guys are building these like little. They look kind of heinous. I'll link that
Yeah.
video too. I think it was like computing something daily compute. Some I don't know some
Okay.
guy. He does a bunch of
Interesting.
super nerd content. But yeah, they build these little cinema cameras.
Yeah.
And I was kind of geeking out about that because they're so inexpensive and like the quality's decent out of them. And like if you want to shoot like cinema, kind of like
Yeah.
24 frame per second kind of stuff, it's I don't know, it's
It's
interesting.
fun.
I really like that stuff. Like I said, am I
Yeah.
going to build one? Probably not, but still fun to watch.
Yeah. I've still got the Obsbot Meet SE sitting in my open tabs here because I do want to
Oh
pick one up because
yeah,
my camera is a hot piece of garbage.
yeah.
It's a shitty smartphone, and yeah, it's not super great. Um, there was something else I wanted to ask you, and now I've forgotten what it was. This is a story of my
Mhm.
life.
Yeah.
Oh
Let's
well,
see.
couldn't have been that important. Uh, damn it.
I'll just
Hang on.
Google on the
Thinking music.
podcast.
Thinking music while I think about it. Shit.
uh, so the
Oh
YouTube
yes.
channel
Sorry.
is
Oh,
I'll say
yeah.
the YouTube channel is explaining computers. And I'll link the hopefully don't
Yeah,
the
I'll pop it in the.
sorry started playing.
Oh,
I'll link it
nice.
here. But yeah,
Yeah,
explaining
I learned.
computers. If you're into super dork content, the guy puts out a ton of super super nerd computer content.
Doesn't he have some old analog computer, big blue thing?
I might maybe I'm not entirely sure.
Might be
I'll
the same
just link
channel.
it
Who
here.
knows? Um.
Yeah.
Anyway, my 24-volt SSRs arrived today.
Oh, cool. What are you using
Yeah,
those
so
for?
5 volt to 24-volt signal oscillating relays for
Okay.
the TS27R. If my optocoupling story shits the bed again,
I
I
see. I
bought them
see.
off
Those are the ones you had on
AliExpress.
order.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
arrived today, and then hopefully tomorrow my new headphones arrive.
yeah.
My
Ooh.
it's e-armor, earmore. I don't know. I fucking don't
Okay.
know how to pronounce it. But yeah, they hopefully arrive tomorrow. Apparently they're active noise cancelling, which is going to be annoying as hell.
Mm,
So hopefully I can disable that when I read the manual. But
mm.
they allege up to 40 hours of battery life.
That's impressive.
If 8,000 milliamp hour battery, I'd fucking hope so. I'm gonna need a crane to
Oh
hold
yeah.
my head up.
I was gonna say
Um,
you can have a backpack holding that thing.
yeah, so we'll see when they arrive. They weren't expensive. They were like all of I think $45 or $50. So we'll see how
Oh,
they
okay.
work. Because my ones, did I tell you how you increase the volume on mine?
No.
So mine were like $15. They're super cheap.
Okay.
They've been dropped a
Yeah.
few times. You increase the volume by doing this. You put your head sideways and jiggle around till the speaker falls back into its pocket. Then the volume goes up. It's also really
Okay.
annoying when you walk because it goes tick, 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 tick. So yeah, they've been on their last leg for a while. And the annoying thing is like on a Friday, when I want to listen to a bunch of podcasts, I get 2 podcasts in and the battery dies.
Yeah.
Like it's getting worse and worse. So massive battery. Also, the new ones have a boom mic. So hopefully the audio will be a bit better on stories and things.
Oh, fair.
Or if I want
Yeah.
to chat on Discord or whatever while I'm in the shop, hopefully it'll be a bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been. Yeah, I also discovered that my OBS was recording my PC's audio when I was doing a voiceover. I was in a Discord chat waiting for my mate to come online. He came online, said, "How's it?" and then realized what I was doing and kept quiet. But yeah, I had to try
Mm.
and edit that out of a video, which was less than pleasant because I didn't want to reshoot the video because I'm lazy. So I just dealt with it being in there. But
Oh, fun.
yeah, I learned a thing.
Yeah.
Because your
Exactly.
OBS, yeah, you live and you learn. I've been making the
Mm.
shorter, like couple minute videos on how to power program a fixture and yeah, tips and tricks and things
Mm.
like that. I've got a couple more in the works. But
I
yeah,
have
it's
to.
also.
I have to jump back into YouTube. I think I watched one video last week. It's just been doing a million things. So I'll have to
I
go
normally
search your
watch a lot of
stuff.
YouTube on Saturday night because
Mm.
that's when all like the maker channels and things drop their videos. I didn't
Right.
look at my phone until this morning, since Saturday evening. Like, and actually sit down and
Right.
watch
Yeah.
YouTube. Like, obviously, I looked at my phone,
Mhm.
but like I was
Yeah.
busy. I woke up late on Sunday to go to a dog thing. Went to the dog thing, then
Mhm.
we went to the memorial, then it was out jawling. So
Yeah.
this morning at midnight, I realized, shit, I didn't do Wordle yesterday.
Oh no.
I know.
Start from the top. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just stopped at 69. But anyway. Like, I'd still sent a picture to my brother and I'm like, hey, bro, I think I'm going to stop at 69. It's like, no, carry on. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Kurt,
Well,
wait,
yeah,
where
man.
are the things? Oh, there we go. What have you been searching this week?
So I have been spending a ton of time searching up. Actually, the one thing I took up a ton of time to search was I'm looking for some really like for flush cutters that'll cut hardened wire, but are micro, like the same size as a regular pair of flush cutters. So I have a pair of snips that I use, made by NWS, who are one of my favorite like pliers, snips, whatever company. Stupid expensive, but they'll cut hardened steel all day, no issues. They don't make it small enough one that I want.
Okay.
I found another company called like Lindstrom, and they make hardened side cutters or like hardened flush cutters. Rather expensive, takes forever to get. They're made in Germany. They would just take
Okay.
a long time to get here. No local distributors. So came across actually some a beading company here. It's called like Beadsmith. They make hardened carbide edged flush cutters. So I bought a pair of those. They were like $40. They weren't that expensive.
I'm glad you
So I'm
think that's
quite
not expensive. I literally pay like
in.
$40 in rands for a set of flush cutters.
Well, sorry, I have a pair of $11 flush cutters that I use for electronics, but these are like for
Yeah,
carbide edges. It's a lot more money.
yeah.
Because I'm cutting a ton of little stainless springs, and it's just
Ah,
nukes everything, and I need them flush. Anyways, I don't want to mess the spring up. So yeah, I just have my Google search is just full of companies that and a ton of like jewelry companies actually is what I've been looking at, and some of them are like, oh, these McMaster sells a pair of carbide edged flush cutters that are the exact size I want. I think they're $240. I
oh,
mean, there's
wow.
McMaster tax in there, but like for a pair of like 4-inch little flush cutters, it's like
Yeah,
that's
no,
a little spendy, but
that's a bit rough.
yeah. So yeah, my Google search is filled with a ton of those, and I don't want AI. No, why? I'm trying to open Google here, but it's just telling me all the AI things. What
Well,
else do
my
we
one's
have?
short this week.
Shoot, man, shoot! I'll keep
I've
opening
got
mine.
a streak of one in Wordle. I've got the Rand dollar, which is making me a bit less sad. Um,
Hmm.
either the dollar is strengthening or the Rand is weakening. Not sure which one it is.
Hmm.
Um, and then I've got NCS resins because we drove past them and I wanted to know if it was the same one I knew from Durban. And microrobotics because I'm trying to buy a flipping servo for my robot because our robot tournament got postponed from this weekend to 2 weeks' time. So I have time to get Fondler working properly, except there's no
Butler.
stock. Yeah, I got the best names. The previous champion was Groper. Um, so yeah, Fondler, I want to buy another servo so I can run two servos, but they haven't had stock in like 2 months. So hopefully they'll have stock before then, so that I can have the two arms to fondle people with.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
names. Now the idea there is that I can go one up, one down, or both up, or both down. So it gives me options to on how I want to engage. So I can either have them up and then I'm a pushing robot, drop them down, I can get under and flip, or have
Sure.
them like that, go under, hold them down, then lift them up. So a little bit of programming on the remote, and I've
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
different options so that I can change up my strategy mid fight.
That's a good idea. That's cool.
Although
Yeah.
the robot league is beginning to annoy me, so that's probably going to become a backyard league in the near future.
Mm.
Just every time we try and do something, the guys aren't keen, so it's going to be, guys, the box is in my backyard on this day, come play, have a bra afterwards or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not carrying the box myself to my truck, driving an hour, setting it up so we can have a tournament, packing it back, driving an hour home, and then unpacking it myself. I'm kind of over
Yeah.
that. Like, it's just
Yeah.
not good.
Fair.
I got other shit to do. Like,
Yeah.
make anchor points. But yeah. So,
Cool.
yeah, where can people find you and your things, Kurt?
Well, actually, before that, I also came across a YouTube video, and someone, if anybody out there is into like mechanical dorkness like I am, there's a company called Sanko, Sankyo, a Japanese company way back in the day, and they made these retro clocks. I mean, they weren't retro at the time; they made them like the '70s, so they look like clocks from the '70s. But there's one clock in particular. It's a flip roll mechanical clock. It looks like kind of like a can of pop laying on its side, and it just has a big dial on the side to adjust it. It's all mechanical, like just a motor that runs the clock. It runs off the like whatever 60 hertz frequency, The alarm is mechanical. Like it was a super cool clock. And I saw a YouTuber who just like tore it apart because it was broken and fixed it. I'm like, oh, I want one of these. I'm gonna go buy one of these. And I looked them up on YouTube or on eBay. They're not cheap. They're like $500. I was like, damn it. So, anyways, that was in my search history. But go check them out. They're really cool clocks if you're into that kind of mechanical flip clock counter kind of dealio. Nice.
So the other link that I sent through, the guys, that same guy, Engine Easy, made flip displays, 3D printed flip displays.
Love those.
Yeah, so he put them into his Flappy Birds game. They were quite sweet.
Oh, yeah.
So check it out. Really worth checking out. So yeah, where can people find you and your fun things?
Me and my fun things, confoundedmachine.com. There's whatever you want there, media page, contact page. It'll put your little email in the box. I'll email you when things come up for sale or whatnot, so you don't have to follow me on whatever channels. How about you, Jamie? Where can people find your wares?
You can find me at jspeceng.com or jspec_engineering on Instagram. We have the anchor point on the website and on the Instagram. Still 2 of those left in batch 1. Well, technically 4. The guy who did the pre-order hasn't bought them. But anyway, hopefully you'll buy them soon. And we're busy starting with batch 2 of those, so there should be stock in the coming weeks. Also got a bunch of blank pallets arriving because apparently my pallets are cheap. But yeah, you can find us there. We've got a bunch of shirts, a bunch of other odds and ends on the website. You can go check those out. And you can find the podcast at thelonemachinist.com. Again, shirts and things, the links there will link through to the JSpec ENG store. We've got a bunch of merch for the podcast. It's also the Patreon. Thank you again to all our Patreons who make the wheels on the bus go round and round. Yeah, that's where you can find all of our things. What are you up to today, Curt?
Today, I'm going to finish running some lathe parts. Once those are done, I'm going to warm up the mill, finish running some mill parts for these little mechanisms, and then those are done. Then I'm going to flip over and start machining pens while I then go and do all the hand assembly kind of fun stuff for the mechanisms. And that's about all I got planned. So what's your week looking like?
Tomorrow I've got to put the filters back into my machine and top up the coolant. Hopefully I have enough coolant on hand. And then I got a bunch of things I want to quickly knock out tomorrow because material arrives for the Tufnell fixture. And then I want to climb into that and get that out this week as well. So it's going to be a very busy week. I've also got 1,000 Torx bits to squeeze in somewhere. And another 1,000 little things to squeeze in as well on the LK. So it's going to be a very, very busy week. But I think I've got a fixture in mind for holding these little 4mm diameter pins so that I can slitting saw, drill a hole and rigid tap them. So
okay.
Yeah, I want to do them like 20 at a time. I don't want to do them 4 at a time or 8 at a time like I did last time. I have some ideas on, like, I can do things much more accurately now on the LK than I could on the Slowio. So I can literally make a block, put it in my vise, mill out pockets, turn it sideways, probe it again, and I'm pretty much there. I can just carry on. So that's going to be, that's on the list of things to program tomorrow morning, because normally I sit on a Tuesday with John and I do a bunch of programming. I'm sitting talking shit in front of the computer, so I may as well do programming. So that's tomorrow morning's endeavors.
Oh, fun. Sounds like fun.
That's the plan for the week. And then I need to pump out the other machines because they need their coolant cycled as well. The coolant in the MCO is now green.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the brass shaving.
Oh, brass. Yeah. Okay, fair, yeah.
It's meant to not, but it does. Had the guys out there, no, it's kind of expected. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't mind green coolant. It doesn't affect me. We've got to set up to run a whole bunch of fun stuff there. And then I must harass another customer. I realized now I didn't invoice him for something, but I haven't delivered it either, so I don't really mind. So I'll harass him. I'll harass him because I've got to go buy material for something he wants tomorrow. I'm going to be there, so I may as well buy the material. He messaged me this afternoon for an invoice, and then it took me like 30 minutes to send it because I use Slowbooks. It's like QuickBooks, but slower.
I hate that software. It was
unbelievably frustrating to try and just print an invoice that was already made. Anyway, my bean counter says I must use it, so I use it because I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, that software can go die a fiery death as far as I'm concerned. I spent way too many years fighting it.
Yeah. Like we use Sage. I liked Sage, and then we went to QuickBooks, and it is what it is. It does the thing. Most of the time, it doesn't frustrate me because I don't use it any more than I absolutely have to. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool, man.
anyway, yeah, I guess it's time to say to everyone, thank you for listening. We're, yeah, depending on where you're listening, you can get us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. I believe in some other ones. Please consider giving us a glowing review or a star or whatever the review thing is. And if you know anyone you think would be interested in listening, please recommend us along to them because, yeah, more listeners is more better. But yeah, anyway,
Exactly.
guys, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week. Now we're going to go talk about the shitty Swiss Nano.
Ooh, excited. Take care, all.